Hey, Dan Adams here, and I just thought of doing a second video. um, I realized just now that I haven't thought of any title for this series, or if it's gonna be a series. I never really thought of it. So I'll always just say, "Hi, I'm Dan Adams" at the intro. And I suppose these are like, I wouldn't really say these are channeled messages, because even though I do believe in tarot, in the universe, as magic and stuff, I don't really use it as a way to start this. I just, when I feel like doing it, I will be making a video, and that's what we're doing. I realized, so first off, I wanna, it's actually pretty late. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning, and I should be sleeping, but some part of my brain is like, knocking on my consciousness, talking about, like rambling about some things in my mind that requires my attention, I believe. So why not? So, okay. Basically, this is my second video, and of course, I guess for any starters, for any beginners out there, you would relate. You could probably relate to the part that once you've already started something artistically, when I mentioned, you would think, oh my god, what's the next step? What's the next thing to do? What should I do next? How can I maximize this? How can I, how can I really manage to exceed my first take? And yes, so that's a confirmation by the angels, because they dragged my gift down. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Okay. So going back to that, and with an additional context of my gifts falling down from our Christmas party, I would really say that, intentionally, like my first intention with the video, the first video that I took of why I think art paralyzes you, is because we've all started from somewhere, and for me that's art and music, which is why I included music in the first video, or like how I feel about making music and how I see music as a form of art, like as it should be. And so for me, so anyway, sorry about the noise, extra noise. Those are my landlords. They're Chinese, so you might hear them in the background of my video. But since we're doing this just right off from the phone, that's why I won't be able to cut some audio out. But yeah, okay, thank you for your patience. So anyway, yeah, like going back to the anxiety of every creator out there, like, okay, what comes next? What is the next best thing that I could make out of the things that I've started? And thinking about that, it made me remember it made me remember of how God created the universe, or created Earth, in terms of the, like, based on the Bible, based on the Christian Bible. And right now I'm trying to look for my phone so that I can search what I believe, because I'm thinking of the days that he created the earth. Okay, let me see. I'm sorry, I'm not really a practitioner of I'm not a practitioner of religion, of our religion. I am born Catholic, but over time I kind of try to look for a way to appreciate my belief, or how I would really embrace my my religious beliefs, or my just belief in life. Basically, how did God create the world? Okay, so on the first day, okay, God created light in the darkness, which is the universe itself, right? And second, he created the sky, sky. And then on the third day, he created the dry land and plants. Okay, seas and plants. Fourth day, he created the sun, moon, and stars were created. Okay, that is on day 3. Okay, on day 4, am I doing this right? Okay, day 1, light and darkness. Day 2, sky and sea. Day 3, land. Day 4, sun and moon and the stars. Day 5, birds and fish. Day 6, animals, man and woman. Day 7, God rest. Okay, I need to do I needed to review that. Okay, so yeah, I guess me mentioning that and just it popping in my head really is a symbolic thing, you know, because on the first day, when they created light, like they just decided, okay, let's make the light. Let's make light. And on the second day, they probably thought, okay, like it would make you think, you know, why would you create the sky? And yeah, the sky. Second, okay, like why would you create the sky? Like what is the purpose of the sky? And I never really thought about it. I never really, you know, I never contemplated on it, because I would just, like any normal human being who were brought into this world having a religion would just really take in this information and would find the place in our hearts, in our minds, in our soul to believe in it, right? So this is probably the first time that I'll be thinking about it and that I'll be sharing about it through this second video. I suppose God, or the universe as I call it, more normally, regularly, decided that they would create the sky that we see with where clouds are. Because if we do have light available, like first, actually at 0 there was only darkness, and creating light contrasts the darkness, right? And having the sky on the second day, I believe it symbolizes the transitions of light and darkness. And so it's not just because they decided, oh, okay, you need the sky for the light to come through. Scientifically, it makes sense. That way. That way it makes more sense if we're gonna look at that. But of course, if we're looking at it from a religious perspective or a spiritual perspective, I am translating it in a way that I suppose every second step is a way to transition to the third step. To make the next step and another one. Just as like we have our right and left. Because if we don't have right, we probably won't have left. If we don't have white, we don't have black. We don't have all of these contrasting things that create another step, like creates another create another outcome out of these two. And it's just a really beautiful thing to think about, because for us human beings who really have a hard time, who really tend to have a hard time in creating something meaningful, we always just start. Sometimes we don't even start. But then, you know, in a given circumstance that we do start, which is on the first step, and then we take another step, and then we take another one. And usually I realize, even on my personal life, in my personal life, would I mostly feel comfortable and confident on my third try, or on my third step, because on the third step, that usually happen we usually feel more dedicated, and at the same time there is this some sort of acceptance that it might not work out. What if it doesn't work out? Because we already failed first try and second try. And so yeah, that makes sense, right? Because for me, as a person who have done a lot of things, as we all have, and you know, failing at many things at the same time, what usually, like, my usual boundary is like the third try. Like, if it doesn't work on the third try, don't try again, because it is most likely a sign, you know, a nudge from the universe or from God that, hey, maybe try to use a different way. Maybe there is another way. Maybe there are other chances that you can take a chance on, and to not keep yourself locked in the perspective that you first thought of, because we tend to have this, I guess it's our brain thing, you know, because I don't really know neuroscience. I don't really know the brain science and everything, but as a 27-year-old person who has resisted and has really felt like I have something to prove, and you know, there's nothing wrong if you want to prove something, but what usually pains our mind, or yeah, what pains our mind is that it's either we keep on trying too much to the point of desperation, or we don't try at all on the other end of the stick, is what pains us the most. And so yeah, in relation to that, like, you know, this is why I thought of, okay, why not let's try to do a second video, because how can I make it to the third video if I don't make a second one? I mean, it sounds like a very simple thing to say, but as someone who had a childhood who kind of put me in so much pressure, you know, like having to prove something, having to seek for validations, that I would have to keep on trying and trying and trying, to the point of not really to the point of no return, because we can always return to our best state, but you know, we keep on trying things that don't work out, just to seek for validation, when one answer is enough, you know, because I had a hard time accepting this in the past, and probably today still. You know, I'm not perfect. We'll always have something to worry about. We'll always have something to be anxious about, because in some shape or form, something will trigger us, or something will remind us of a bad memory, and it's either we do what we've always done because we don't want to have that weird feeling or having to bear with the unknown feeling of things. So we just stay where we are, or we just shut everything out. We shut the emotions out. And right now, I guess my consciousness is like talking to me in a way that, oh, okay, that's good that you realize that, because I just tweeted, or not really tweet, I just posted on my Blue Sky, and I said, oh, I hope I get this kind of thing so that I can announce it, so that I can finally, you know, like, it's like I'm asking for the validation instead of just sitting where I am, sitting through the emotions of you've done it, you've done that thing. So right now it doesn't matter whether you get it or not, because you've already done it. It doesn't have to be something you need to stress is not really the word that I want to put, but in a way it makes sense to like use that terminology, in this context, because thinking too much of something can bring us to stress. But if you do feel good about something, then it shouldn't be stressing you out, because you have done it and you have enjoyed it. And which is why I am telling myself right now that, and I am embracing the reality that 2 weeks, a couple of days ago, I enjoyed doing this thing. And I shouldn't be censoring it. I enjoy going on to the audition that I poured my energy for. I didn't really exhausted myself, not really in that sense, but I was really devoted to it because I enjoyed the song, I enjoyed the character, and I had no expectations at all, because I just really want to do that thing. I just really want to perform. And of course, there will be parts that you will have to know the results. And that's where I am right now. It's like I'm putting myself in this condition that, oh, okay, if you don't get it, you don't really have to announce it. But right now that I'm thinking it, it's like, do I really have to put myself in a condition that you need to get it first before you announce it? Especially to a person that you really admire, especially to the people who mean so genuine, who are just so genuine for you. And so I guess this is my second step, because the zero step was preparing for it. The zero step was preparing for it. Singing, remembering the lines, and then the first step was going to the audition. The first step was going to the audition, because that's really where it starts, right? Because you can prepare all day, all night, whole week, whole month, but if you don't go to the audition, which is the place that will decide if you get it or not, then you don't really get to the second step. And now I'm on the second step. This is my second step, because today, December 23rd of 2024, is the day of the results. And of course, it's still not up right now because it's 2 a.m. But within the day, I'll be seeing the results. And life goes on after that. I suppose the second step is receiving the results. And the third step is letting life move forward. The third step is letting life move forward. Me moving forward. And just commit to the things that I planned, where I felt really happy with. So yeah, feels really intimate doing this, doing this video as I'm talking to you guys right now. And I don't know who will be seeing this, but but I just feel it feels really intimate, and I really do appreciate that I get to do this now more than ever. It really took a lot of challenges along the way to get this type of confidence, that I get to really look at myself in the camera again and really look at myself filming something. So I just really appreciate it so much. And to have a platform that I just recently created. Actually, I created it last January, so doing this before January in 2025 is a deal breaker for me. And I am happy, and I'm proud that I get to do the second step of, or probably the second video here on my channel. And right now, as I channel the energy inside of me that deals with wanting to do the next video, wanting to do the third video, I believe right now I just want to really channel in the part that, or the fact that I just want to do this, that I just want to enjoy doing what I do, that the reason why I created the first video, it is to share what I know and to share why I feel that way and how I know that other people feel the same way. And it's not in a way to get something in return, but just to show up for myself. Yeah, so I just really want to show up for myself in this matter, because it feels right, and I feel like I've always deserved to give myself this spotlight this spotlight of being content with where I am. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I am settling in this beautiful thought of not waiting for things to be ready before I get to do things, to just keep being honest with my intentions. Because however I would feel, however I would become, however my emotions would turn out to be, they're all gonna be valid. And that's what I want to stand on. So I guess my video won't be that long because I really do need to sleep, and it's almost 2:30. So, and I still have to upload this before I go to sleep. So yeah, I'm just really honored to do this. I'm really happy with how I'm doing this, and it's so weird to talk this way. It's like third person, but it's just me. So yeah, I'm just looking at myself, and I'm just really looking into how I feel confident in my own skin, in my own face, in my own way of speaking. And yeah. So in conclusion, or just an overall thing that I want to convey here, that is that, you know, because the whole context of doing the second video is like figuring out the next step that you gotta make. And I would really confidently say that actually the second thing that you get to do is actually a third step. But we don't really think of it that way. Right? because that's not how the 3D world would label it. But I just want to share this in a way that, you know, in a universal context, this is the third step. Because yeah, this is the third step. There's no but, there's no yet. This is the third step in the universal context. And we need to be proud of ourselves for being able to do this, because it takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of gut to follow through. But right now, you know, I would even say that it is worth everything to see myself doing the second video. Doing the second video and doing the third step of creating my YouTube channel. You know, I used to think and believe that, oh, okay, YouTube is just, you know, just a place where you can watch your favorite artist, your favorite music artist with their awesome music videos, or a place to get tutorials from. But now that I'm more consistent, that I feel like I am more consistent with what I want to do in life and what I believe in, and then now I'm doing this, it's like, oh, okay, I'm this is really a blank slate. This is really a canvas that I am painting on, or I'm creating on. And it doesn't matter what kind of direction I'll be making. What matters is that I like it. That's what matters the most. And I hope you guys will feel the same way towards your own art, because to be honest, having to show your art in the world is probably the third or fifth thing that matters to it. Because art does connect people from people. It creates a society, but the first audience is you. So if you are the first audience, if you are the first viewer, then you need to know that you like it. You know, I used to draw political comics, or just comics, just some Filipino comics. And I feel like they're funny. You know, I do them because I find them funny. I did them because I keep laughing over my own comics. And so I just do them, and then I laugh at them. And then once I post them, people would just go commenting, go reacting that they find it funny. And so that is really the fifth thing I would say. Because for me, if I'm gonna be like categorizing, or maybe just laying out the steps, I would go step 0 is knowing what you want to draw. You know, it's just really knowing what you want to draw. People would often say that people would often say that you need to have an art materials first, and I used to believe that too, but like realizing all of this right now, and even like the whole process of it, of accepting the creative process, the step 0 is knowing what you want to draw, you know. And then step 1 is grabbing your materials, sure, yeah. Step 2 is creating it, is you know, illustrating it. Third step is probably just, because of course you'll be making it, and then at the last part of the whole process of it, you'll have to look for the details, you have to add in details. So those are the technical parts, I would say, because they don't I wouldn't really say that it's actually a paradox thing, because it's either they give a full twist on the whole concept of your art, or they just fit well, they just sit well in the artwork, you know, those details. So I would say it's still an important step of knowing if whether to put a detail or not, because as a whole it's still part of creating an artwork, you know. And then yeah, like going back to what I said, fourth would be sharing it to the world. Yeah, because no, actually I'll go back to that, because if you once you do add a detail of, you know, oh, I like to add this, I like to do that, I wouldn't really call it the same. It's not on the same level with editing. Okay, we need to make sure that there's a distinction between adding details to editing them, because editing, that means you are probably going to be erasing some parts, you are probably going to be removing some parts from your original idea, and that could kill some parts of your ego, you know, because as human beings, we tend to be like in a very stereotypical way, we get to be such perfectionists that we do everything, we love it, and then at the last part, oh, I think I'll have to remove this part, and that is an ego killer. And it's either we'll live through that, it's either we accept that right away just to finish everything, or you know, just not do anything at all. But as a creative art, as a creative, and as creators, I believe we really need to stand with our own art, with our own creations, you know, because they're created for a reason. And yeah, so for me, the fifth step is sharing it to the world. because what usually kills the creativity, as I've experienced as well, is okay, adding the details, blah blah blah, and then sharing, and then editing, and then once people see, once the chaos happens and we get pursued to edit this, edit that, edit here, and blah 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 blah, it just keeps going on forever until your whole creativity, until your whole desire for how this piece will look like is gone, you know. So I would say, I would really say that technically in the 3D world we call it second step, but honestly we always have 0, 1, 2, 3 step. I believe that's how it is, because you can't just start with just, yeah, I think it's too philosophical now on how and on what I want to share. But anyway, as I've said, I do need to go, but I hope what I've said so far makes sense. I believe I'll be able to explore this topic more as I go on with my videos. I don't know what I'll call them. They're just videos. They're just my piece of artwork in a video form. So this is the context of making the second step or the third step. Anyway, this is me. I am Dan Adams, and I hope you have a great day, great night, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.